So Amazon dropped the entire season of Batman, the Caped Crusader on Thursday, August 1st. Since I was able to binge watch all the episodes, I'll give my overall thoughts on the entire season of the show instead of breaking this down by each episode. I'll start off by saying I really enjoyed watching the show. I'm a huge Batman fan, so when I heard the original creators of the 90s Batman the Animated Series, Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, were returning to work on this new show along with Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams, I was automatically sold on the show. Because I grew up watching and loving the original animated series when I was a kid. This show brings back the noir animated style of the original series, but this time, the setting takes place in the 1940s. You see this in the fashion, cars, and Batman's tech. His tech is very stripped down from what we're used to seeing, but is more realistic for the time period being depicted in this show. I believe he only has the grapple hook, smoke bombs, and an earpiece that allows him to communicate with Alfred while he's out in the city fighting crime. I had some concern about the new voice actor because the original voice actor Kevin Conroy died back in 2022. However, Hamish Linklater did an awesome job voicing the Dark Knight. Like the original animated series, we got to see our protagonist solve a different mystery and capture a different villain each episode. The series takes a different approach and sort of reinvents a few of Batman's villains. For example, the Penguin is now a woman, which I thought was an interesting choice. Catwoman appears to be a fallen heiress, but I can't remember if this was ever part of her backstory. If so, please feel free to comment below. Harley Quinn's personality is much darker when she's in her jester costume compared to the original series, and she appears to be operating on her own instead of assisting the Joker with his crimes. Also, Joker is nowhere to be found in Season 1, but he's hinted at in the mid-credit scene after the finale. The inclusion of his allies Commissioner Gordon and Barbara Gordon is normal in most Batman stories, but in this series, Barbara is an attorney who gets really active when it comes to navigating the crime-ridden streets of Gotham. Another element that remained consistent is the involvement of the corrupt police officers in some of the crimes our Caped Crusader must solve. As I stated earlier, they made some changes to a few of their villains, other characters, and changed the time period. However, I couldn't help but notice I got the same feelings the original animated series gave me when I was a kid. I was really immersed in the story of each episode and thought the animation was well done. The music was really dark and complemented the stories and overall look of the show. It gave me a feeling of nostalgia while offering a slightly different approach to the show. If you're a fan of the original Batman the Animated Series, you'll enjoy the show. If you're simply a Batman fan, this show will definitely satisfy your craving for a few good Batman stories. It places a strong focus on the detective aspect of the character and is guaranteed to leave you wanting more from the show. Luckily, it's already been renewed for a second season. Overall, I rate this show a strong B+.